I'm in a bit of a quandary, I don't mind telling you, because I've been invited to tea to each of my best friends' houses, and I've got to make up my mind which one to go to in the next 5 minutes. I know I ought to go to Bert's. I made some pretty lame excuse last time. But the reality is, I think I'm going to go to Pete's. Well, he makes the most brilliant chili con carne.
Why Pete?
Good question. Well, because Pete knows how to look after himself, and it's so much easier there. Well, take their sitting rooms for a start. Well, yes, Pete's still got that three-piece lovely suite that's chosen by his Shirley, but he's had advice. He's had it adapted, raised up, extra cushions put in, which means it's so much easier when you're sitting down to get up and down from the chairs and the sofa. And especially like with me with my bad back and him with his bad leg.
There's nothing wrong with my settee.
Where's me? Oh. It used to take me 10 minutes to get up to answer the phone, and then it would stop ringing just as I got there. So, I got my daughter to look on the County Council website. I had an assessment over the telephone, I did my own measurements, and they came and fitted some chair raisers the next week. Piece of cake.
And then there's the food. Well, Bert, he tries hard, but you go to his place and there's pots boiling all over the stove and the oven blasting away. And then when you get the food, it's either burnt to smithereens or undercooked. I mean, I love him to bits, and he does struggle, but if only he would get advice. He's so stubborn.
Sake. Oh, bloody hell.
Whereas Pete, he's learned to work with his limitations.
I'm quite the microwave master chef, me. There's lots of tasty meals you can get these days, like this chili con carne, that you can just ping in the oven and then serve up within 10 minutes. Less hassle, less washing up, and more time spent enjoying yourself.
Who needs gadgets anyway? I was brought up not to ask for help. It's a sign of weakness.
Stubbornness, more like. These days, there are lots of gadgets specifically designed to meet our needs and our age. Things that give you a helping hand. For example, grab rails, perching stools, and I love my new vegetable basket. The veg cooks in the pan, in the basket, and then you just drain it and you serve. It stops me having to lift and pour boiling hot water. Then I just let the water go cold and pour it down the sink.
Now, I agree with Pete about trying out new ideas, like grab rails at the front door and the back door, because I always struggled with my shopping trying to get in, up the step and in through the front door.
But, so, just suppose someone like me was interested in some of these contraptions. Could you give me some top tips?
Of course. I love my bed, but sometimes getting out of it can be a right struggle. Physically, I mean. Sometimes you wake up and you're a bit stiff. Other times you're in a bit of pain because you haven't taken your painkillers. And sometimes you just want to go to the loo in a hurry. I have discovered that a bed lever can help you with this. It fits underneath the mattress, held on by a strap, and you can get single or double bed sizes. You use the lever to pull yourself into a sitting position. Then you use it to support yourself while you swing your legs out. Then you use it as leverage to stand up, like so. I've also been advised not to get up too quickly, to do it slowly and steadily to avoid getting dizzy or falling over. But my, this is a comfy bed.
Things that are higher are easier to get on and off. Look at my raised toilet seat. It's easy to fit, just a couple of brackets and some screws, and it fits most toilets. If you find it difficult to get on and off the toilet and you need rails as well as height, then there are frames that incorporate both. They are easy to move out of the way if you have guests.
Now, one of the most useful modifications I've had done around the house is to have some strategically placed grab rails installed. Now, yeah, I'm pretty fit for my age, but every so often I slightly lose my balance or stumble and have to grab out at a door frame or towel rail, which was not ideal. So I had some grab rails and a half step installed. I had a rail put by the front door, another one by the back door, and one at the side of the toilet, which helps getting up and down from the loo, and of course one next to the bath, because there the floor is very often wet and slippery, which can be a bit lethal. It means that I could always reach out for them as and when necessary. Brilliant. And the last one I had fitted was along the stairs, which helps with stability going up and down stairs. I got it all sorted out through the council.
Whether it's old age or arthritis, or other medical problems, it's often difficult for us to continue to get in and out of the bath. We all want to stay clean and healthy, so there are many options. I use an over-the-bath shower and a shower curtain to keep the floor dry. When I stay at my son's, I use their wet room and shower. The only difficulty there is, I get tired and breathless from standing for so long. Then a friend recommended this brilliant bath board. It allows me to sit while I shower and give me some extra support when I'm getting myself in and out of the bath. It is designed to sit on both lips of the bath and has two brackets which are adjustable in order to keep it securely in place. You will need to measure the width of your bath so that you know you've got the correct one, and also you will need to check the weight limit on equipment before using. For example, this one takes up to 30 stones. In order to use, you back up to the bath slowly, using your hands for guidance if you can. Then you sit on the board, swinging your legs in slowly. The safest way to take a shower is to remain seated. You will well be able to wash yourself thoroughly by adjusting your body slightly. This is a long handle sponge. It can be used to wash your feet or bent to wash your back. They do come in different sizes and shapes. To keep the water from the shower within the shower area, you will need a curtain. You should make sure that it's placed both in front and behind you and gently rest it on the board. The board can easily be removed so that it does not impede anyone else wanting to use the bath.
Do you know what? I hate washing. But ever since I've had this perching stool, it has made it much easier. If you struggle to stand up for any length of time, particularly when you're cooking or washing up in the kitchen, if you've got enough space, a perching stool is really useful. It can be used in the kitchen or the bathroom. It gets you really close to the work surface or the sink. The perching stool itself is adjustable in height and tilts slightly. It frees up your hand to do other things and other chores. It can be moved around anywhere else, but please be careful that you don't trip over its blade legs. They are made wide to add stability to the equipment.
Now, I'm not a one for fancy gadgets, but these days there's one gadget I simply wouldn't be without, and it's one of these, a grabber, or helping hand as it's called. Now, it doesn't look much, does it? But when you've got a bad back like me, bending down can be a real pain, and I mean pain. So take getting dressed in the morning. Well, I was always dropping stuff on the floor, trying to reach out, not being able to get hold of something. But now, with my grabber, I can just pull my clothes towards me, step into my pants, my trousers, any number of things I can actually use it for, and it's brilliant. It's not just that, I can use it for all sorts of other things around the house. A grabber is really good for getting something down off a high shelf. Brilliant. And even in the garden. Picking up a plant pot, weeding, any number of things. Really good for picking up the post as well. Even if it is mostly junk mail.
If you've got a walk-in shower, you may want to think about a shower seat. If the space is small, then think about a wall-mounted one. But you've got to make sure that the wall's solid. Also, you may want to think about having grab rails installed, especially if you've got a step to negotiate. If your shower is large enough to accommodate a seat with arms, then this will be the best bet, as they are adjustable in height and have arms for you to push up with.
My top tip for looking after yourself and your guests is to invest in a good microwave oven. Now, I tend to think of them as still quite new, but actually they've been around since 1947. I struggled on for years using my old gas oven. I was always having to bend down and I was always dropping things, and I was either burning myself or the dinner. Make sure that your microwave is on a flat work surface at a nice height. You can get all sorts of tasty and healthy meals these days, and I always add a few fresh ingredients just to liven things up. The timer comes in handy, and it's a lot easier to clean than the old gas oven. Proper little microwave master chef I am. Delicious.
Having arthritic hands can make tasks painful and difficult. I used to have real problems turning the taps, but having these lever taps have made it much easier. I can turn them with the palm of my hand or my wrist. They can either be fitted by a plumber, or you can get the ones that will fit over your existing taps.
Although I love my microwave, I still like my fresh veg. But since I've been having trouble with my balance and my grip, it's made me wary of messing around with pans of boiling water until I discovered this little item. A vegetable basket allows you to cook food that you would ordinarily boil, only it makes it safer. It works like a colander in reverse. You put the food in the basket, pasta, vegetables, whatever, anything you like. You put the basket in an ordinary pan, you cook it, then you lift it out, drain it and serve. Then you wait till the water goes cold and you tip it down the sink.